I'm Janet, and my mother had a glioblastoma, which is a very aggressive terminal cancer of the brain. I was her primary caregiver for the 3 years that she had it, and then after she passed away, I joined the bereavement group here and did a lot of things with that also. Now I'm a volunteer. I certainly would have benefited if I had joined when I was still a caregiver, I know, but at the time I didn't even know that I could join. So I joined after she'd passed away, and I remember saying, "Is it okay? Like she's not she's not around anymore. Can I come?" And absolutely, it was just so helpful to be with other people and to share. We all had different stories, but we all understood what that was like, and there was even people that had a parent also. So we could share different things about that. And there was practical things on talking about grief, and then there was just emotional support of other people understanding what you had been through, and that was more helpful than you would even think it would be. The parent-child relationship as a caregiver has its own set of challenges, with just all the stuff you have in that relationship anyway. But for me, I think the most challenging thing was just being thrust into all these different roles that I was, had no idea I would be thrust into. You have the doctors and meds and insurance companies, and then if your parents, or in my case, didn't live with me or even in the same town, you have all those challenges of managing or taking over eventually their running the household and the finances and all of that. So it was just very challenging to have all these things, all these roles that you were now playing that maybe you were totally unprepared for, maybe don't even have the skills for, but you've got to do the best you can. And you're always kind of wondering, what don't I know that I should be knowing? Because there's things that you don't know to even ask. So you're always just hoping you're making the right decision and never really sure that you are. I think there's a tendency to downplay your own experience if you're not the person that has cancer. Of course, your focus is on them and helping them. That's what your role as a caregiver is. But sometimes you think, well, it's not about me, it's all about them. And yes, of course, their journey looks different, but you're still on this journey too. You are affected by cancer, even if you don't have it. And to go around pretending that you're not affected, to think, well, everything's all status quo, it isn't. You matter. Just because you don't have cancer, you still matter, and your challenges and all the stuff that you're going through, that is your journey, and I think you have to acknowledge that. If you pretend that's not happening to you, that this is hopefully the most challenging time of your life, and to pretend that it isn't, it doesn't help anybody, especially your loved one and you. When my mother passed away, it was right before Thanksgiving of that year, and about 6-7 weeks later, I was at the grocery, and they had pots of tulips and bulbs that they were forcing. And I walked in and I saw those flowers, and I said, fortunately only in my head, I said, "How dare you bloom? My mother is dead." I was offended that these little flowers were gonna bloom, that life was moving forward. And I was not prepared for, I wasn't there at all. I was like, whoa, spring cannot come. So when you get with other people that feel this same way, it's just such a load that's lifted. That load is still there, but it's not as heavy as it was before. This has been a lifesaver for me, really. I don't think people can express how much it helps to be able to come here week after week and be with other people that understand your journey, and it's just it really does matter.